Good evening and welcome to TG Cusick Park, where tonight we're gathered here to take part in the draws for the 2025 championships in Westmeath, the club championships, and both hurling and football. I'm joined tonight by Keith Quinn, Assistant Secretary of the County Board, whose main role it is the fixtures, and also our County Board Chairman Frank Meskel. On my left hand side then we have Pat O'Brien from the Castown Gagan Club in as well. Lads, before we get down to the nitty-gritties of the draws, Frank, just go to you first. Our championships, no change in format. Everybody is happy with the way things have been run, and let's be fair, we've had some great championships in the last couple of years.
Yeah, we've had fantastic championships. I don't know about everybody being happy. We mooted the thing of kind of revamping our championships to spark more interest in it. Now, the feedback we got was that it should stay the same. But that doesn't mean that we are finished with it. Later on in the year, we're looking now at 26, of course, but we will look at putting forward two proposals for our clubs. They can look at it then and decide, do we stay with the status quo? My own opinion, and that's not worth much, but my own opinion, we could do with a little bit of freshening up of the championships. Having said that, we've had fantastic championships, you know, right up to the last game, where everything is on the line. Wasn't as much in 24 as it was in 23. 23, every game mattered at the end. Not so last year, particularly in the football, you had dead rubbers and that, which you never like to see. But yeah, fantastic championships and great championship games.
Keith, you're very involved in your role now as Assistant Secretary. You do all the fixtures and stuff like that, and even before we went live here, the phone is hopping. So I suppose, does it get easier for championship time when everyone knows that when the fixtures are out that they're going to be played this particular weekend, and does your headache lessen?
Yeah, look, I suppose it does lessen to an extent. Alright, I suppose the draw obviously will take place tonight, and we'll do round one, and subsequently directly after that then we'll log the numbers into Service Board, and we'll do the rest of the remaining draws, and they'll go to the clubs within the next 2 to 3 days. And again, this year obviously we've reduced a fixture booklet. All clubs now know when the championship starts, when it'll finish, when there's a replay. So subsequently we've, it lessens, and probably it gets more exciting now as coming into the championship and coming towards the end of the all-county football and hurling leagues. It's good and getting exciting, and sure, the bright evenings and the clocks have gone back, so it makes life a little bit easier. Yeah,
but of course we can't forget we have inter-county to happen while our all-county leagues are running on, but inter-county to be played for both footballers and hurlers. So, you know, I suppose we won't be able to focus on the club championships for another couple of months yet.
No, directly. I suppose this is our busiest period, I suppose, between the minors and under-20 footballers and hurlers all competing. With the footballers last night in under-20s in Kinnegad against Meath, with the under-20 hurlers this Saturday against Meath in the Downs, with the minor footballers the following week against Longford in Kinnegad, and subsequently the minor hurlers play Meath again in Jorson Park, and then the following week after that we have Antrim in the minor hurling, and hopefully at that stage we'll have reached the knockout stages of the hurling, and please God we'll get another good run in the football, minor football as well, and get a result. Obviously our main aim now would be to get a result in the minor football, which we all crave.
And then the Leinster Championship, Frank, creeping up on top of us as well. Is it Saturday week?
Saturday week,
We're off to Newbridge.
We're off to Newbridge. I was actually in Croke Park on Sunday to see Offaly and Kildare, and people were saying you wouldn't fear Kildare, but I suppose what I took from that game was the amount of chances that Kildare missed. Now, are they going to miss those again? I don't think so. They were very unlucky with their shot choice and the conversion rate, but their midfielders stood out, really two fantastic fielders. And in this new game that we're playing, possession from the kick out is so important. If you win that now, there's a good chance you're going to go down and score from it. So look, I wouldn't underestimate Kildare. Are we capable of beating them? Of course we are. And I mean, Dermot and the players have done fantastic, a brilliant league performance. Wasn't reflected on the table, you know, but the amount of new lads that have been introduced and really stood up, and we have lads coming back from injury now, so we have a great chance.
Pat, I'll come back to you, come over to you here now. McDonagh Cup starting as well for the hurlers. I think it's Easter Saturday, I think it's right. So lads will be looking forward to that as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at it was highlighted already. We had a disappointing league, but that's done and dusted. We move on. We are where we are in next year's league. They have knuckled down, and word on the ground is that there's good harmony going between players, management, everything now. Again, joyful, really remarkable, and they're training very well. You know, so their focus is totally on getting to Crow Park as we put the challenge out. So their real focus is the first day out in Port against Laois, and I've no doubt that, you know, it won't be from lack of effort that we won't get over Laois, and I'm very confident that we're well capable of getting over Laois.
Yeah, well, look, it's the best of luck to the county teams, but we're gathered here now for our main job of the year to get the championship sorted out. Keith, you're going to be doing a lot of the work on this here. Before we start, we will thank all our sponsors of all the competitions. Clark's Bar for the Junior Football 1 and Junior Football 2. Shea Murta, Precast for Intermediate and Senior Football, and Slevins Coaches who sponsor all the hurling. So again, many thanks to them for their continued support, and I'm sure Keith will mention that as well. Just before he starts as well, I just want to reiterate, where people are saying, why do we do this draw live? Everybody knows it's a group and everybody knows who they're going to be playing. But it is crucial, Keith, that the numbers that come out tonight will determine the round and the orders of the rounds that's going to come down the line.
Absolutely. Like, yeah, look, as you can see up on the screen as we speak, there now, Raharney, Team 1, Team 2, Team 3, Team 4, Team 5, Team 6. As the number of the teams are called out, they'll go into play. 1 will play Team 2, 3 will play 4, and 5 will play 6. And subsequently, that's where they'll go into the computer, and the computer will generate who to play in round 2, 3, 4, 5, subsequently directly after that.
And clubs will know their full running order fixtures in the next couple of weeks or so.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, look, lads, we get it underway, get the show rolling here. We're going to start with the Slevins Coaches Intermediate Hurling Championship, and the group, as Keith has already said, Raharney, St Bridget's, Castleton-Gagan, Southern Gales, Clonkill and Turin. Keith is going to empty all the names into the trophy, and we'll commence the draw where Frank is going to pull out the names.
Obviously, Ray, with this competition, we have 6 teams. So we'll start with the sole intermediate clubs first. Drop them into the pot. So we have Turin, Southern Gales, and St Bridget's.
Yeah, and the reason that, Keith, is, of course, is that the 3 second teams of the senior clubs, which is Raharney, Castleton-Gagan and Clonkill, they will go into the pot first. The first round game will be between one of them, correct, and then the third team will get one of the intermediate clubs. So, Frank, you start with the first name out.
Team 1, St Bridget's, will play Team 2, Southern Gales. We'll place these other 3 teams into the pot now. Castleton-Gagan, Raharney and Turin, or Clonkill. We'll leave Turin in the pot. Team 3, Castleton-Gagan, will play Team 4, Clonkill. The last 2 teams. Team 5, Raharney, will play Team 6, Turin. That concludes the draw for the first round of the Intermediate Hurling Championship.
Yeah, Pat, we'll come back to you on this one. Just have a look at them. Two intermediate teams, St Bridget's and Southern Gales, start in the first round. I think they played in the semi-final last year where the Southern Gales were comprehensive victors. So St Bridget's with it all to do for 2025.
Yeah, that's true, all right. But I mean, look, it's a new year, it's a new dawn for all these teams. It's just interesting, I suppose, to note that you have, 3 senior second teams, and then you have 3 sole teams. And I suppose everyone would like for the strength of the competition that a sole team can win this competition. But it doesn't always happen. Like the 3 clubs involved, Raharney, Castletown, and Clonkill, are strong senior clubs. They're strong clubs over the years with good underage structures and that. So look, it's up to the likes of Bridget's, Southern Gales and Turin to, not to allow that to happen. They should be really manning the positions to come forward. Now, as a dark horse, I would think Turin will be really looking this year because they have a lot of young players coming through that are at the eligible age now to participate in the competition. And they did acquit themselves very well last year for long periods of all the games they played in. But I suppose if you could look at again, Southern Gales got to the final, were full of confidence coming up here, but they ran into a real juggernaut on the day in Brownstown. They won't fear coming back again. So it'll be an interesting competition. So I would imagine, the first game at St. Bridget's and Southern Gales, both of them would hopefully get off to a win. Neither of them like to lose in round one, especially against their sole oppositions.
And Keith, just to confirm, 2 semi-finals in the intermediate hurling.
2 semi-finals in the intermediate hurling, yeah.
Okay, we'll move on, and we're going to have the draw now for the Senior Hurling B Championship, again sponsored by Slevins Coaches.
Senior B Hurling Championship, 6 teams going into the pot. Brownstown, Ringtown, St Oliver Plunkets, Crooked Wood, Cullion and Delvin.
Again, those 6 teams for our listeners out there: Delvin, Cullion, Brownstown, Ringtown, Crooked Wood and St Oliver Plunkets, who of course were relegated back from senior last year.
Team 1, Brownstown, will play Team 2, Ringtown. Team 3, St Oliver Plunkets, will play Team 4, Crooked Wood. Team 5, Cullion, will play Team 6, Delvin. And again, that concludes our first round championship for Senior B hurling.
A quick word on that one, Pat. I think Cullion and Delvin, if I'm right, played a cracking first round game last year with a very high scoring game. Delvin this year probably will be weaker, losing a couple of players from the carryover from last year. Oliver Plunkett's coming back down to Senior B, will be hoping to make the jump back up, and Brownstown then on the other hand coming up from the intermediate, hoping to make continue the progress.
Yeah, no, this is a very good competition. Like last year, it proved very worthwhile as well. Like it was tight all through. You have teams like Oliver Plunkett's acquitted themselves reasonably well in the senior last year, and you have Brownstown who really demonstrated that they were a step above most of the intermediate teams last year. Then you have Delvin and Cullion, as you stated, was a cracker at the first round. Both of them have senior experience in the last couple of years. Ringtown, just, I suppose, they play well in the early stages. They came up short 2 years ago in the final, and then the semi-final last year wasn't as good. So, and the wood are the wood. You never rule them out. They have, as I say, a lethal expert in Barry O'Mara that scores from every angle. Put the ball down and he knows where the posts are. So it'll be very, very interesting competition.
And Keith, this competition different from the intermediate in that the top team goes straight through to a final and second and third place play a semi-final.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, well, we'll move on now and we'll go to the Senior A Hurling Championship. Castletowngagan champions, of course, from 2024, and bet Lough Lane Gales, of course, in the final, and Lough Lane Gales beaten for the last 2 years. So the 6 teams going into the hat: Clonkill, Castletowngagan, Lough Lane Gales, Castlepollard, Raharney and Father Dalton's last year's Senior B winners. So Keith and Frank just checking to make sure we have the 6 of them in situ there, and Frank is going to throw them into the cup and we'll get the draw done. First team out.
Team 1, Clonkill, will play Team 2, Castlepollard. Team 3, Castletowngagan, will play Team 4, Lough Lane Gales. Team 5, Father Dalton's, will play Team 6, Raharney. And that concludes our first round for the Senior A Hurling Championship.
Senior A Hurling Championship. As all the hurling championships are sponsored by Slevins Coaches. Pat, we'll come back to you again. Castletown started their defence of their title and with a repeat of last year's county final. So again, it should be another cracking start to the championship.
Yeah, you'd be hoping it would be. Like, you know, look at it. It's a really good tight competition, especially with only one team getting into the final and two teams, you know, playing one semi-final. There's very little room for error. You know, you must try and hit the ground running. And momentum is a great thing. If you can get a win on the first day out. So look at, they're all exciting games there. Like, I mean, Father Dalton's come up from last year from the Senior B, and they have experience of, I think this is their third term back up in the latter years, and they're improving all the time, so they won't be any pushover for anybody. So look at, I suppose you just don't know with the young players who's available early on in the summer. Some of them like to travel and some of them go to the States and whatever. So it'll be interesting to see, but I would imagine the round of the game, the high there is Castletown and Loughlin Gales.
Yeah, Rahari, you know, we're champions 2023, you know, disappointed last year, didn't qualify in the top three, so I'm sure John Shaw, back in charge out there again this year, will be trying to make sure that at least he gets into the top three.
Oh, I would imagine so. It was just, it was unfortunate the way it worked out last year. I suppose at one stage we did highlight that, you know, the last score that Collinstown got at the time, a ball went the whole way to the net. If Rahari had saved it, it would have got to the final. And as a result of the ball going into the net, they were out of the competition. That'll tell you how tight it was, and I suppose it was fascinating for the people that were following it and such. But John Shaw will have them, I say, well primed this year. You know, he will keep reminding them of where they finished last year. So that's a good recipe for the competition also.
Frank, a quick word back to you, a quick word on the hurling championships. Looking forward to them now this year.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. I suppose to remain kind of neutral in that, but we have 4 teams capable of winning it, really and truly. That's no disrespect to 2 of the teams there, but the fact that we have 4 is really, really good, I think, because for a time we had only 1 or 2 teams, but now it's really competitive. I suppose my wish for the championship would be that Father Dalton survive. I thought Oliver Plunkett's would have done it last year, young team and everything, and I just think if the team that comes up, if they could get 2-3 years at the higher level, it would be the making of them. But it's just when you come up and go back straight down, you know, it's kind of soul destroying in lots of ways. So I hope Father Dalton's produced the goods and that, and you know, the 4 capable of winning, it's really, really competitive between them. Castletown, can they put back to back together? It's quite a long while since it's been done in Senior Hurling Championship. I know they have the potential to do it, they have the players to do it, and I think they're going to be very anxious to set that record straight. Rahani, they will be biting at the bit to get back at them. And the poor old Gales,
Yeah,
so near and yet so far.
yeah, two defeats in the last 2 years, so they'll be hoping to go one step further, and it'll really test them. You know, it takes a huge amount of resolve to come back from those 2 defeats to get back.
It does, but I think they're good characters. I'm leaving out Clonkill. I thought they improved hugely the year gone by. They were like the Clonkill of old in lots of ways. I know they have a couple of injuries to contend with, but the improvement they showed last year, if they can improve that much again this year, they will be real contenders.
Well, look at it. It's a great championship, and we've seen the standard of it by Castletown going to a Leinster semi-final afterwards, and you know, really, really unlucky that we didn't get our first team to a Leinster senior hurling final, club championship final.
Yeah, it was a brilliant run by Castletown, and it just shows what these teams are capable of doing.
Yeah. Well, look, that's the end of all our draws for the hurling championships again for 2025. As I said, all championships sponsored by Slevin coaches, and we look forward to an exciting hurling year. These hurling championships commencing, Keith, I think I'm right, week commencing the 19th/20th, or the weekend of the 19th/20th of July.
Yeah, week 29, which is the 19th/20th of July, we kick off the Senior Hurling Championship Intermediate and the Senior B Championship, and please God, the Junior, and obviously the clubs now know as well when the Under 20 and the Junior B and the Junior A Hurling Championship are starting as well. They're starting earlier this year to allow them teams to get the same recognition they deserve as the elite championships, as they would like to call them.
Very good. Lads, we're ready to get going again now with this time with the football draws. And again, we're going in reverse order. We're starting with the Clarksbar Junior 2 Football Championship. And it's in Section B we're going to start with first. And Section B consists, Keith, of 4 teams: Delvin, St Paul's, Loughnavalley and Tuberclare.
That's it, right? 4 teams here. Team 1, Tuberclare, will play. Team 2, St Paul's. And Team 3, Loughnavalley, will play. Team 4, Delvin.
That's Section B, round 1 of the Clarksbar Junior Football Championship. Keith, 2 groups in this as well. Again, 2 semi-finals and a final.
Correct, yeah, it's the same.
Ballynagore champions from 2024, making the step up into Junior 1 now this year. So again, St Paul's probably unlucky to be relegated last year. Delvin beaten in the county final as well. So plenty of competition here, and eagerly looking forward to this competition as well.
Absolutely, like the Junior 2 is look at getting the same recognition as every other championship. Like these lads put in the exact same effort. Like, you know, unfortunately St Paul's relegated from Junior 1 last year to Junior 2, and please God, look at all the 4 teams in Section A and Section B, and please God, we'll have a good championship, and may the best team win.
We'll move forward now with Section A of that Junior 2 Football Championship. And again, Keith, 4 teams in this: Killucan, Gary Castle, Colliery and Mullingar Shamrocks.
That's it. Team 1, Colliery, will play. Team 2, Mullingar Shamrocks. Team 3, Killucan, will play. Team 4, Gary Castle.
And again, the eagle-eyed people who are watching this draw will look and see that these are second, maybe third teams of the senior teams in that side of the draw as well. So again, the sole Junior 2 teams kept separate in the draw, or in the group stages of it. So again, an exciting championship. As I said earlier, Ballynagore came out of this Junior 2 last year, and looking at the results so far in the league, in the all-county football leagues as well, seem to be making good progress to it. So again, a good stepping stone for all teams to try and get out of that. And Keith, or Frank, I think, you know, the fact that there is relegation and promotion in Junior 2 gives these lads plenty to play for.
It does, yeah. And, you know, you mentioned Ballynagore there. Ballynagore struggled for the last number of years, really. And, you know, did brilliant to keep fielding teams. But then they have a lot of young lads together now, and that Junior 2 winning that competition, the springboard it has given them. I was out with them, they celebrated that in the barn in Kells Pass, and a really, really good night, a vibrant night for a club, you know, and they are, the results from the league, they are seeing the benefit of that win, and I think they will be a force in the junior proper, we call it.
Yeah.
They will be a force.
Junior 1, and we're going to get around to making the draw for that one now, Keith. I think we're going to start with Section B again here, and this has 6 teams as well: Ballycamoyle, Ballynagore, as I mentioned, Moathall Whites, St Joseph's, Ballycarrigy and Bunbrusna. And Frank, your club, Ball, relegated out of intermediate last year, so they'll be hoping for the quick rebound here on this one.
They will. I probably won't put them in the draw for it, but
okay, you're going to keep them to the semi-final.
Yeah. The way I have them now, they're beside their neighbours, Bunbrusna.
Oh.
No doubt they will get separated when they go into the pot, but anyway.
So this is Section B of the Clarksbar Junior 1 Football Championship.
Team 1, Bunbrusna.
And Frank will see, did you separate them well?
We'll play Team 2, which is Ballycamoyle. Team 3, Moathall Whites. We'll play Team 4, Ballynagore. And Team 5, St Joseph's. We'll play Team 6, Ballycarrigy.
Pat, come back to you on this one, a quick one, and that the tie that jumps out at me there is the last one drawn, which is St. Joseph's and Ball. St. Joseph's beaten in the Junior 1 final last year, Ball coming down from the intermediate, so they're possibly looking at being the two strongest teams in that section.
Yeah, it's possibly, but I wouldn't rule out Ballinagore at the moment either, because they have an abundance of young lads, and they also have the plus of Thomas McDaniels has come back from playing Senior A football in Dublin, back to playing now. I suppose maybe in his twilight of his career, but he still has that little bit of pace, and this new rules will suit him. But St. Joseph's are a young outfit also, and it all depends on how Ball organise themselves after the drop down. Like, you never know with Ball until you actually see them in the first round of a championship what they're going to come with. But if they get organised and they row in behind the management and whatever, they can be a threat. But if they're a little bit scattered, well, then they'll just fall by the side. But Joseph's will be gunning to get back into the final last year. They kind of felt that they didn't do themselves justice on the day. Now, it was a terrible day, but remember the wind was so strong and it just, I suppose, things got away from them. But this is a very good competition now on this side, and also we'll have the other section. But you would be hoping that the sole junior teams come out of this competition for the sake of the whole competition going forward.
Yeah, and that's what happened last year with Castletownbhean, Cool Whitehall. Frank, we won't ask you to mention anything about Ballinacary. We'll go ahead and we'll go on with Section A there. And Section A, which is, as Pat has already alluded to, are the teams, the second strings of the senior teams. And in this we have 6 teams as well: Killucan, Downs, Athlone, St. Lomas, Mullingar, Carson, Kinnegad, and Mullingar Shamrocks. And Frank has the six teams there now, so they're going into the trophy, and we'll get Team 1 out, drawn by Keith now.
Team 1, Killucan, will play Team 2, Athlone. Team 3, Carson Kinnegad, will play Team 4, St. Lomans Mullingar. Team 5, Mullingar Shamrocks, will play Team 6, the Downs.
Again, Keith, would you give us the breakdown on how this competition is going to work out, because they're qualifying from both sections?
Yeah, round robin league basis, really 5 rounds, and then we have it's quarterfinals. So the teams 1, 2, and 3, and 4 in Section A will qualify for the quarterfinals, and teams 1, 2, 3, and 4 in Section B will qualify for the semi-finals. And then it'll be A, B, C, and D. A will play B. Team 1 will play Section B, Team 4. Section A, Team 2 will play Section B, Team 3. And Section A, Team 3 will play Section B, Team 2. And Section A, Team 4 will play Section B, Team 1. And then you'll have semi-finals A, V, C, and B, V, D.
So again, good competition. Last year, as we said, Castletownbhean dropped down the year before and came straight back up. So, it'll be hoping, Ball will be hoping for that. But again, it's a great competition. It gives football to second string players from some of the stronger senior clubs as well that are not making the senior team, and it's a great ground, and Frank, for maybe young lads coming out of underage, and on the other end of it then you have the older lads that are maybe not having the legs for the senior team anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, looking at those second, third teams from the senior clubs, I mean, St. Lomans would stand out for me in that the amount of underage players they have, their juvenile system, it's mind-boggling the amount of players they have. But the adults now, the number of players they have, good young players and that, and they deserve a shot at a championship proper, a junior championship proper. They won't find it all their own way though. The Downs, Mullingar Shamrocks, Kinnegad would be traditionally really, really good teams there as well. And they go on then in the knockout stages, they'll meet the proper junior teams, if you want to call them. The likes of Ballinacary, Joseph's and these will be waiting for them. The hope is, of course, they will be hoping that they'll have used up some of their players for the senior championship, and they'll be a bit weaker when that comes around. And
it gives the sole junior teams that opportunity. Teams may be that little bit weaker when it comes to the knockout stages, but I suppose Pat alluded earlier on, it's nice to see the sole junior, intermediate, whatever team winning these competitions and progressing onwards. But again, without any disrespect to any second club.
No disrespect. Everybody would prefer to see the sole team winning it. But again, the other teams have a right to be there. They deserve their shot at it. If they're good enough, fair play to them.
Right, that concludes the Junior 1 and Junior 2 draws. Junior 1 and Junior 2 competitions, both sponsored by Clark's Bar here in Patrick Street in Mullingar. And we thank Kieran and Carrie for their support. We're now going to move on to the Shea Murta Intermediate Football Championship. Again, 2 sections in this. We're going to start with Section B and the 6 teams going into the Cup. Castledaly, Kilbeggan Shamrocks, Milltown Pass, Castletownbhean, Cool Whitehall, Maryland and Ballymore. And Frank is going to throw them into the trophy, and we'll have Team 1 coming out shortly. Again, probably the hardest championship in Westmeath to win. I think anyone that takes part in it will tell you that it's so hard to pick a winner. With 2 years ago, I think Pat and Malachy's came out of Section B and won it, so anyone can win this competition.
Yeah, it's very tough.
Right, Keith, Team 1.
Team 1, Castletownbhean, Cool Whitehall.
Last year promoted from the Junior 1 Championship.
Will play Kilbeggan Shamrocks. Team 2, Castledaly. Will play Team 4, Ballymore. Team 5, Milltown Pass. We'll play Team 6, Maryland.
Oh, Frank, some nice tasty ones there as well. Castledaly dropped out of Section 1, the Section A last year coming down, and they'll have a difficult enough start with Ballymore. Some really cracking games in that group.
Yeah, that's the standout one, Castledaly, Ballymore. Both will be hoping to reverse fortunes from last year in that. Interesting one with Castletownbhean, Cool Whitehall and Kilbeggan. Both, junior a couple of years ago, really. So a win, Pat mentioned momentum, a win for either way there could set their year up, Then Milltown Pass, kind of surprised to see Milltown Pass down there, to be honest with you. A really, really good team who have been challenging for the Cup and challenging seriously for it, but I'm sure they'll be looking come out of that group.
I think the last time again they were in Section B, they went to a county final.
Yeah, and very unlucky on the day.
So
Malachy's beat them.
Yeah, there's nothing to say that we won't get a winner of the Intermediate Championship out of that group. But anyway, we'll move forward and we'll have a look at Section A now, and the six teams in Section A. St Mary's, Rochester Bridge, Rosemount, Tuberclare, Shandon, relegated from senior, Multifarnham and Milltown, last year's beaten finalists in the Intermediate Championship. This championship was always sponsored by Shea Murta Precast. And again, 6 strong teams going into the hat here as well. Or the cup, I should say.
Team 1, Shandona. Will play Team 2, Milltown. Team 3, Multifarnham. Will play Team 4, St Mary's, Rochester Bridge. Team 5, Tuberclare. Will play Team 6, Rosemount.
Now again, 3 cracking ones there, but Frank, I think probably go to the top one of the draw there, Shandona and Milltown. Again, possibly the 2 strongest, one coming from senior and the other the beaten finalists from last year. So again, all about momentum in this group as well.
Yeah, it's very possible you could have the county final there in that first game, and I kind of know how Shandona and Milltown love each other, and so it'll be a really spicy one, I think. Really to look forward to it. Shandona will be very annoyed with going down last year, and you know, Milltown played a really, really good first day. Didn't quite go right for them the second day and that, but they had a really, really good year. And I think they're capable of winning an intermediate championship. They're definitely capable of doing it. Tuppaclare, Rosemont, we're talking about neighbours.
Yeah,
That's a spicy one too. They will be all out. They're two. Tuppaclare, I don't know what happened to them in the early part of the championship last year. They finished very strong and put in some great performances. Multi, similarly. Multi had a great year. Really, really good year. I think they were the first team involved in penalties competition in the competition last year. And St Mary's Rochester Bridge, a good young team.
Yeah, again, those two teams both promoted from Section B last year.
Yeah.
So again, they'll be well familiar with each other as well. But again, we can't overlook any team in that intermediate championship, because really, it's the one competition is so hard to predict the winner of.
Oh God, yeah, it's almost impossible. I'm not a betting man, but I wouldn't like to be betting on who's going to win that championship.
Yeah.
You know, they're so close, the teams in it. The group that comes out, Group 2, the momentum might carry them all the way. You never know. You never know.
Keith, on the knockouts and that, Team 1, top 2 teams in Section A go straight through to a semi-final.
Yeah, the top teams 1 and 2 in Section A qualify for semi-final. Teams 3 and 4 in Section A qualify for quarter-final, and teams 1 and 2 in Section B qualify for the quarter-final.
So again, that bottom tier, a lot to play for with only 2 teams coming out of the group. So, you know, that leads to it. It's always been a great championship. It really is the one that's so hard to win. And like Frank said, I wouldn't like to be putting money on anyone winning it. But, you know, again, Shea Murta sponsored, and we look forward to an exciting championship. We're getting down close to the wire now, to the big one. We're going to start with the Senior Football Championship, Section B. And again, 6 teams in this group as well. Killucan, St Malachy's, Colliery, Tang, Garrycastle, promoted from intermediate last year, and Moat All Whites. Frank is going to throw the 6 teams into the cup. Pat, quick one before he starts drawing them. You know, again, big teams in this group as well.
Yeah, but the most interesting thing this year in all the football championships will be how will these teams adapt to these new rules. You know, you could have a team that has a lot of youth on their side. I think youth will really benefit from this new game, because, you know, it's an awful lot more fluent and movement is good, and I suppose quick understanding of the rules and getting to know your strengths. You know, with 3 forwards up, if you can have a goalkeeper with a good kick out, a good centre field that can move the ball in quick, you know, it could be a team here that this new rules that really could adapt to it, and it could be a dark horse, but we can't actually know who they are until we see the first rounds.
Right, Frank, we'll get it underway. Team 1 in Section B of the Shea Murta's Precast Senior Football Championship.
Team 1, Tang, will play.
Relegated from Section
Team
A
2,
last year.
St Malachy's. Team 3, Colliery, will
Again,
play.
also relegated.
Team 4, Killucan. Team 5, Garrycastle,
Last year's intermediate champions.
will play. Team 6, Moat All Whites.
Some nice games there too, Frank. Garrycastle back at senior level, where they will feel that they should always have been. You know, but they'll have a tough start against Moat All Whites. Moat under new management this year, I'm sure they'll be hoping to bounce back. They were in the relegation final last year, so again, that looks like a nice opening to the championship as well for those 2 teams in that Section B.
Yeah, definitely. Garrycastle performing well in the league this year. They went nearly all the way in the Leinster Club Championship. Had a brilliant year last year, and I'm sure they will want to continue that. Yeah, they didn't like the idea of being an intermediate team. They classed themselves as a senior team, and fair play to them. They're well capable. Colliery, Killucan, that will be a really, really good game, I think. Both teams brimful of talent there. Colliery didn't reproduce what they had the previous year. Killucan are always capable of beating anybody and everybody. Hugely good young players. Tang, Malachy's, Malachy's, I think, were happy to survive as senior last year. Their ambition might be a bit more this year. Tang performing well, have done themselves justice at senior level. So everything to play for with those 6 teams.
Yeah, it's a very tight group as well. Tang Colliery relegated from Section A last year. Garrycastle coming back up, and Malachy's coming up from intermediate the year before. Killucan, have had experience of playing in Section A as well, and Moathall Whites. They'll be hoping to make an improvement from last year as well. Keith, we'll go ahead now and finish up with the last draw of the evening, which is the Section A of the Shea Murtagh Precast Senior Football Championship. Again, 6 teams. Our defending champions, St. Lomans, Mullingar Shamrocks, Athlone, Turles Pass, last year's beaten finalist, the Downs, and Carlstown Kinnegad. Again, Pat, six quality teams here.
Yeah.
Any one of these could win a championship.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, this is the big guns. The 2 towns are very strong. Athlone, another strong. Kinnegad, they're all very strong. You could be a brave man to pick a winner out of this.
Team 1, Keith.
Team 1, Nadunta, the Downs. We'll play Team 2, Carlstown Kinnegad. Team 3, St. Lomans, Mullingar. We'll play Team 4, Athlone. Team 5, Mullingar Shamrocks. We'll play Team 6, Turles Pass. So recap, Team 1, the Downs will play Team 2, Carlstown Kinnegad. Team 3, St. Lomans Mullingar will play Team 4, Athlone. And Team 5, Mullingar Shamrocks will play Team 6, Turles Pass.
Frank, will come back to you again, looking at some of the draws, that the first 2 teams out, the Downs and Carlstown Kinnegad, last 2 beaten finalists,
Yeah.
coming up against each other. And again, a win for either of these is going to be hugely momentum for the winner of it going forward. Puts the loser on the back foot.
That's just not right.
Yeah, St. Lomans and Athlone then in the second game.
Yeah, that Downs, Carlstown Kinnegad is the standout one.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 teams capable of winning the championship out proper and meeting in the first game. And I mean, there's the local rivalry to contend with there as well. It'll be a really, really good game, I think. The town end of it, St. Lomans versus Athlone. Athlone did really well last year, played some great football. They have a really good manager now, local lad, and he's getting the best out of that. Hard to look beyond St. Lomans though, isn't it? Mullingar Shamrocks again improving as the year goes on, or the years go on. They're getting the young players coming through now that have been successful, and they've got a few lads from other counties who've really added to their squad, and that Turles Pass are always there or thereabouts and will make life difficult for the other 5 teams in that group. They will make life very, very difficult for them. So it's mouth-watering, I would describe those games there. Can Carlstown Kinnegad, I thought they dipped a little bit last year. They are capable of better. Will they produce it? I'd say they will,
Yeah, Pat, you mentioned earlier on, the big thing in these championships for us all is to see how these teams will adapt to the new rules. And like Carlstown Kinnegad for me are a team with plenty of youth, a huge amount of quality players, forwards as well, inter-county experience as well. Jack Cody, of course, still in charge of them, and I expect them to give this one a right good run this year.
Absolutely, I mean, if this competition doesn't get the supporters out into the Lexicusig Park and all the other parks, nothing will. Because I mean, you take the likes of Ray Connellan with a left foot who's scoring 2-pointers for fun. You have the likes of Luke Loughlin who's given exhibitions in every pitch in the country that he goes to. You have the likes of John Heston and possibly Ron O'Toole and these guys who we haven't seen yet, but I'd say they're itching to play these new rules. You know, it's a huge competition. Like, I would possibly feel a little bit sorry for Terrell's Pass because the population that these other guys are picking from now, the likes of the towns, Mullingar, Lomans, Athlone, Kennygad, they're all getting bigger all the time. You know, the Downs are just on the outskirts of the town. Like, there's huge amount of houses being built in their areas and huge amount of players coming on stream from the youth system and that. You know, but Terrell's Pass are no slouches. They live by the sleeve and they will give it everything. So it's a very interesting competition. Who can come out on top? As Frank alluded to, it's hard to pass St. Lomans, but at the same time, the Downs almost got over the line last year. Were very unlucky in 2 games. And it wasn't just the first one, the second one. You know, and they will hopefully, you know, come back with the same purpose and drive that they had. So it should be, you know, a very, very, very good competition. But on the Section B of it, there's only 2 teams going to come out there. That's really, I think that's the most intriguing part of the whole competition is the Section B, when you have 6 good teams in it, evenly matched, but only 2 of them is going to come out. You know, you have 4 teams who are not going to get any stage. So it's all to play for. So I wish them all the best of luck.
Yeah, well, look, that concludes, I think, our draws for all the champions for 2025. Keith and Frank, if you want to, you know, finish up and a word for the teams and look forward to these championships.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. I know it's a bit away now, but, you know, once our county teams are finished, we'll all be looking forward to our championships. And as we said before we started, there have been brilliant championships now down the years and that. And, you know, it's a league basis, but you can still feel the excitement of who you're going to meet in that first game. And I'm a firm believer in momentum and that. If you can win that first game, it sets you up. That's possibly because I would have been involved with Balnacargie, and I would call the Bell boys real momentum boys. You know, if they get off with a win, God only knows who will stop them. You know, it was so important. Like, and the more seasoned campaigners like Lomans and that can take a defeat and bounce back as if nothing had happened. You know, because they have that experience. Last year, the Downs, we're kind of not mentioning them. I would class penalties as a lottery competition, you know, and that's all they lost it. Did they lose a county final? On match, they didn't. They lost it on penalties. And they will be there or thereabouts come this year again. So look, we're sitting well removed from it now, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, exactly, Keith. You know, you're in the middle of the all-county leagues at the moment and that, but these championships, I think it's fair to say, I know we spoke at the beginning that, you know, there's talk of maybe tweaking it here and there, but I think our championships down to the last number of years have been the envy of a lot of our neighbours, especially when you see, you know, some of the concoctions that have come up in various counties. I think it's fair to say every one of our games is important and there's always something to play in them.
Absolutely, and look, I suppose we're around 5 of the all-county football leagues this coming weekend, and you talk to any of them clubs in them divisions, they all live and die for the all-county football leagues, and they're thriving for the first round of the championship. Like, obviously we'll get to the league finals and we'll have 3 weeks of a break for both the hurling will be 3 weeks, the football will be 4 weeks, like, before you play the first round of the championship. So it'll be good momentum. County lads will be back with the clubs. Please God, we get a good run in the Leinster Championship for our senior footballers, and our hurlers go well in the Joe McDonough, and then we'll hit the ground running in the first round of the hurling championship, followed by the football, and please God, we'll have another good campaign.
Yeah, and ERV TV will be around covering some of the games as well going in. So for any listeners that are abroad, you know, the dates that you're looking at, starting with the hurling championship, the week ending of the 19th and 20th of July, the week of the 26th and 27th of July for the football championships all to get underway. So again, if you're abroad and you're tuned in, or if you're thinking about coming home, it's getting tight, time to join the trend and get back here. But I think we're going to finish here now in TG Cusick Park. I want to thank our County Board Chairman, Frank Meskel, the Assistant Secretary, Keith Quinn, who has put in a lot of hard work getting these ready, and also our guest on the night, Pat O'Brien. Also our PRO, who's here behind the camera, that's Marie Lina. Again, busy period ahead for all the officials of the County Board as we look forward to inter-county games, but then our bread and butter really gets going. So we're going to finish for tonight. I'm Ray Gavin saying goodbye, and we look forward to an exciting 2025 in the club championships.
Thank you.